In this video, we'll be looking at how to prove this trigonometry identity. Sine to the power of 4x plus cosine to the power of 4x equals to 1 minus half sine squared 2x. This is a common type of question that is tested in O-level additional math. So let's get started. Alright, so we have this question here. Sine to the power of 4x plus cosine to the power of 4x equals to 1 minus half sine squared 2x. Okay, and we are asked to show that. And they also give us some hint, which is we need to square sine square x plus cosine square x. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about sine square x plus cosine square x? Well, this is an identity that is equals to 1. And we know that the square of 1 is also 1. So therefore, when we square this, we will also have 1. Alright, so let's first make use of this hint here. So I will first square x sine square x plus cosine square x, okay, and I will square it, okay. So I know if I square sine square x plus cosine square x, okay, I'll get 1 square, and 1 square is 1, right? And let me expand this. So I have sine to the power of 4x plus 2 sine squared x cosine square x plus cosine to the power of 4x. Okay, and when we take a look at this, right, we know that what we want to show on the left hand side of this identity is sine to the power of 4x plus cosine to the power of 4x. Okay, and so if I were to look at this identity here, okay, I know that if I have sine to the power of 4x plus cosine to the power of 4x, it will be equals to 1 minus 2 sine square x cosine square x, right? So this is what I'm going to do. So I will write sine to the power of 4x plus cosine to the power of 4x equals to 1 minus 2 sine square x cosine square x. Alright? Okay, and I know that this is the left-hand side of what I need to prove. So I write left-hand side equals to this. Okay, now, we have reached this, okay, but our final destination, or in other words, right, what we need to prove ultimately is 1 minus half sine squared 2x. Okay, so now we know that now from x, it becomes 2x. So it tells us that we need to make use of the double angle formula. And if we were to take a look at the double angle formula, we know that there is this equation here, right, where we have sine 2x equals to 2 sine x cosine x. Now, what we have here instead is square, right, sine square 2x. So I'm going to square this. So when I square this, I know that I have sine squared 2x is equals to 4 sine square x cosine square x. Okay, now looking back at what we have here, we know that we have 2 sine squared x cosine square x, okay, which is half of 4 sine squared x cosine square x. So in other words, it means that 2 sine square x cosine square x is equals to half sine square 2x. So now we can replace this 2 sine squared x cosine square x with half sine square 2x. And there you have what we need to prove on the right hand side. Okay, so we have shown, or we have proved this trigo identity.